Hello and welcome to Arsenal Above All. This tonight's episode is sponsored by Boots blood pressure monitors. Get your one now. Get yours now. I think they're going for about $9.99, but really mobile. You can take them to the ground with you. You can have them on whilst you're watching the game. I think you definitely need it after last night. Jesus Christ! Thanks for joining tonight. Thanks for everyone who's jumping on board. I've got two legends with me. I've got Melvyn Marks. How you doing, Melvyn? It's been a while. We're trying to get you back on, but you're here. How you feeling?
Well, I've got no sense left anymore. It's all gone. Can't feel anything. But they'll come back soon, the doctor said.
Oh, nice. Well, great to see you, man. I really appreciate you coming on tonight.
Thanks for having me on. Always appreciate it. You know that.
No worries, mate. And I've also got James Johnson, the Arsenal Rizzer. How you doing, mate?
Oh, I'm very, very good. No, appreciate the offer as always. And then when you tell me on top you're on with Melvyn, it just makes it that little bit more sweeter and easier. So yeah, very grateful as always. Pleasure to be here.
No, thanks, fantastic stuff. Thanks for jumping on tonight. You guys have got your blood pressure down and everything like that. You're kind of feeling a little bit stressed as you were yesterday. Jesus Christ. Let's start with you, Melvyn. Just before we get into it all, on a scale of you've been fortunate to see quite a few title run-ins and title chases. In terms of anxiety, where would you rank this one compared to like the ones in '89 and?
Well, it's true. This is true. I've watched Arsenal so many times going for the title, but this is the only time in so many games this year that I felt physically sick. It's never been like that. You've been tense, but this I feel physically sick. I want the game to be over sometimes, whatever the score is. I can't handle it. It's too much. And I wanted this season to be over like 10 games ago. Just take the old plaster off quickly. Don't take it off in little bits, because that's what the done was the whole season, and it hurts. It's been the worst. It wasn't just one game with the Liverpool, say 89. That was one game, and that was. Yeah. Obviously, I was nervous, but it doesn't stick in my mind. 71 again, last game of the season, last kick of the season, we scored as well. We didn't have to score that goal, but we won it on points rather than goal average as it was. But this and all the other ones, Everton was 4-0, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
but this one, it's like it's draining every sinew out of my body. It's like, it's not, what have I done wrong? Sometimes you say, what have I done wrong to support a team that keeps getting relegated? This time you're thinking, what have I done to deserve a team that gives me so much aggravation? And that's where I am at the moment.
As Den's with us in the chat, how you doing, Den? He says 2 more games to go as well to sit through. It's not
too many games. Too many.
Oh dear. And how you doing, Brian? Even Jen's impressive one. Thanks for joining us. Let's get into it then, James. With the usual, the usual grenade that goes off, and surprisingly, it's been serene, isn't it? 3 in a row, same lineup. I was expecting possibly seeing Hincapié come in, because I was looking at maybe someone to sort of nullify Bowen. But what was your thoughts on the lineup? And you happy with that it seems to just because we've got 1 game a week now, there's no faffing about anymore. No unnecessary changes to the lineup. But obviously he did do some unnecessary stuff, as we talk about later on. But what was your thoughts about the lineup, James?
For me, he got it absolutely spot on again. I was well impressed and happy with that lineup that he put out there. And again, I said it after the game against Atletico Madrid at home, Michael, and I'll repeat myself here for people that might not have heard it. And I felt that he ascended in that game as a manager. I thought substitutions, the way that he handled the game state, and I went, you know what? It might have taken us nearly 6 or 7 years, but you have finally, you've learned. You seem like you're more receptive to the people that are around you. You're more receptive to the fans that are on your back going, get this one off and get it, because we're all the manager behind him in the stadium. I've had that seat that's behind that touchline a couple of times. I've had a few ding dongs there where I've gone, take this one off, do this. Why aren't you swapping? His legs are clearly gone. Get him off. We're all Johan Cruyff or whatever in our heads when we're watching it, aren't we? But yeah. No, there was a slight regression there yesterday that I'm sure we'll touch on in a bit. But hey, we got it done. And I know a lot of people are, trying to pick the bones out of this, trying to pick the bones out. I'm like, stop caring. We got the result.
Yeah.
Stop caring, because this is meant to be. I remember Neil always summed it up great, where he said the Invincibles, we were so good, you just didn't enjoy it maybe as much as you could have.
Yeah,
because you were just like, oh, we're the bee's knees. We're just this good that it's always, this is happening every week. And I think now you really got to enjoy. I mean, if I come out of that stadium after we done that Invincible title, and I said to everyone there that we're not going to do another one for 22 years, you'd have got the white coats for me, I think, wouldn't you? You'd have dragged me away.
Yeah.
So, I'm enjoying every second of this if I can. So, yeah, that's what I'd say. But no, line-up wise, original question, spot on for me.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of looking forward to it because I kind of thought, yes, he's gonna not going to be too many changes. As the schedule has opened up a little bit. We haven't got to worry about anyone sort of not picking up any injuries or what have you. And then lo and behold, after a really, really good start, Trossard looked on it. Maybe he was fired up for some reason because of some scumbag publication decided to run a story on him and his private life, which had no business being out there, which was outrageous. But he was on it right from the minute one. So was Calafiori. So we were really cooking on that left-hand side. Right hand side, a little bit less desired. Saka, looked like he was a little bit hungover. I don't know if you heard James. Apparently there was rumours of a bug going around the camp. I'm not sure. I don't know if you heard that as well.
I didn't, but a few of them did not look right. So that does make sense if that is a thing. Yeah, a few of them did look quite a bit off. Yeah,
Saka was totally off it, wasn't he? He really didn't look himself compared to what he looked like. Against Atletico in that first half. But yeah, we had a really good start. Obviously, West Ham were at 6s and 7s, weren't they? Last ditch stuff, and then everything turned on an injury. To Ben White, which was really unfortunate. He looked like he was. I thought he did really well against Lookman. Because we've gone on and spoke about Lookman a lot, haven't we, James, about how dangerous he was, and I think he shut him down. And then he gets that injury, and obviously Gary Neville's painting it up as he's got in a little bit silly and stuff like that. I don't know. This guy, he's like one of those. Gary Neville's like one of those kids, isn't he, at school that he's always in the background, and he reckons he's got your back, but as soon as your back's turned, he's off to the headmaster and telling them everything about what you've been up to and stuff. He's just such a little snide little character, and basically blaming Ben White for getting that injury. And you're thinking, all right, Melvyn, straightforward, isn't it? You're going to put Mascara right back, and you crack on. He's played right back. He's come in, he's deputised a few times. No problems. And Arteta, what was it? He galaxy brained it. That's the term. He pet brained it. He just overthought it. I don't know what on earth he was trying to do. And he's tried to sort of absolve himself of any blame in his press conference later. But talk about, sabotaging your own sort of, charge for a title. What did you think of that? And where was your head when you was watching how the whole momentum shifted?
When I saw it was coming on, I was trying to work out all the permutations. It would have been more sense to put the guy coming on, Zubimendi, in goal. Would have made more sense, in my opinion. It just doesn't. I mean, beggars belief. You said Mascara at right back, of course. He could have switched Calafiore as well to the right hand side where he's playing and put Nkappi in. The different. It's like he has to sacrifice a pawn in chess, and he puts on a Meccano set instead. You know what I mean? It just didn't make any. What are you doing? You're overthinking. Even if you're overthinking, and my gripe is. Right? My gripe is that if he's doing something like that, What are the guys behind him doing for their wages? Are they going, you know what, boss? Fantastic what you're doing there. Why didn't one of them go, excuse me, have you just had a, you know, the drugs kicking in now? You should take a rest for 5 minutes. We'll sort this substitution out, Arteta, and you'll come back and fight. You'll be fine. Honestly, you'll be fine. Why didn't one of them say to him, what the hell are you doing? Are you sure about this? You're basically taking the best midfielder in this country, if not one of the best in Europe, and taking him out the game, playing him right back. And he's not a right back. It's another party clue, isn't it? And Party wasn't as good. And also, you saw it straight away. The second he went to right back, West Ham came in the game. Yeah. It was just like, we all make mistakes. You put on the wrong player, you bring on someone, and he just doesn't do it because he's not as fit as you think he is, or his mind's not there. But this was suicide. Honestly, it was absolute suicide. And luckily he didn't jump from the ledge. He thought about it and came back inside, sit in the second half. Oh my God, it was outstanding. And I'll tell you something, it's a big word in life. If we hadn't won that game, he'd have got slaughtered. I think it would have been, not the end of him, Michael, but it would have been never forgotten.
Yeah. The damage would have been. I think the damage would have been serious. Just before I come to you, James, just jump in the chat. Brian said, to be fair, this season, he's been calm because of the last season. I taught him not to get ahead of himself. But the Superman change had me throwing things at the TV. Thinking Arteta has done it again. Yes, absolutely right. Dan said, yes, the Arteta brainstorm increased the blood pressure for a while. Told you need a BP monitor, mate. You need to get them while they're hot. But they was put right eventually, at least. But he dig in like the hammers, and change the game. Brian says, but I reckon his life went before his eyes. Words music could flash before him. James. What's your thoughts on that? Because again, Melvin's spot on in terms of that. Where was the, that little powwow you could see him having with Gabriel Heinze and Stevenberg and everything? What on earth could they have been saying back to him, saying, "Oh yeah, that's great," because you've not stumbled on a formation for the last 3 games, but you've come across a formation with him and Miles in midfield that has just totally opened up a different level of our play. It looks a lot more fluid and everything, and all of a sudden you absolutely sabotage that. Just because of one injury. I mean, it was just baffling. But what's your thoughts on it, mate?
No, you're absolutely spot on, and you summed it up straight away when you put it in the group chat. You were like, so the thing that's given us all the momentum in these last few games, you've completely flipped it in one of the biggest games that you're going to have in the next couple of weeks. Yeah. And like you said, straight away, it breathed life into West Ham, which takes some doing, because that's the most soulless and horrible football ground. It's not even good to watch. I've watched concerts in that ground. It ain't even good to watch concerts in. It's dreadful. That ground is shocking, and their own fans will tell you that. But they got right back into it. They started, having a bit of run of the ball, having a few of the older, better chances and more of the territory, and then he had to flip it again. But just completely baffling. It was mind-boggling to think. And again, they're paid what they're paid, and they see things that maybe we don't. But I don't think anybody in their right mind would have gone, I think Rice at right back here will do me a little bit. I'll get something out. I can squeeze something out of Rice in right back here for a few minutes. And Zubimendi, bless him, he huffed and he puffed, but that's been him for the last few weeks. I think that guy's legs, and you said it, Michael, didn't you? Months and months back, you went, he is used to a winter break. Yeah, and you are playing him in every. You were like, you've got players there. We all trust them. Do you trust them? They didn't. And what is it that it's always said is necessity is the mother of all invention, or whatever. In the end, and he had to. He started. It's like he stumbled upon this Miles Lewis-Skelly as a midfielder. When I think half of us last year were like, look, he's bloody good as a left back, but you shift him a little. You just move him that 5 inches forward, mate, and you got an even better player than you have as a player as he is as a left back. Yeah. And that was a big moment yesterday as well when that game ended. The way that he embraced him again, because I think he was so grateful in that he went, look, I know you want to be in midfield and I played you, but again, you did it for, I had to move you because I may have messed up there and you still did a job for me. You could see how much that meant to him. Miles's performance yesterday in both positions. So, yeah.
He was huge. Yeah, Miles.
My head was hot, Mike, to your original question.
Miles was huge. Him along with a few others that we'll talk about in a second about how they played. And then obviously he got to half time and obviously made the subs, fixed his own mess. Mosquera coming on for Calafiori. He later on said in the presser that Calafiori was injured. And some people are saying, we saw him running around celebrating like a lunatic with Trossard. Not sure about that. He's lifting him up and everything.
He tore his bicep when he was throwing him up and down.
So I'm not sure about that.
We didn't continue with Michael. He said he was injured. He's what's that expression? When someone takes you off, you are injured, mate. You don't want to be taken off. Your whole emotions. Well, you're taking me off. Well, that's the only way he was injured. His pride was injured. That's what I was looking for. His pride was injured. That's all it was. What are you taking me off for? I've done nothing wrong. You made a mistake, boss. In the first place.
You need to send that picture to Jack, and he'll give you his medical. We need his medical expertise on Calaf because he looks in bad shape, Calafiori, in that photo where he's lifting them all up.
Yeah, So basically, he's used that as an excuse, and then even after the game, someone blatantly, which was fair play, asked him in the presser, about the Rice change, and he comes out with some guff, some stuff to sort of say, he thought we'll be able to do something on the right or blah blah blah, some waffle, and then he just kind of brushed over it and everything. But at least he kind of realised the problem he made, he made for himself, and then we were in a bit of a dogfight after that, for a while before our captain came on and reminded us who he was. But before that, let me just go into the chat. And something else obviously happened before that, but we'll go into this first. So Steve said, "How you doing, Steve?" MLS really stepped up, being cautionary players is important for us. And Brian has said, I think he had an out-of-body experience and turned into Mike Bassett. I definitely had an out-of-body experience the last 10 minutes, Brian. I think we all did. Before obviously the heroics and of Trossard coming in clutch again. Obviously, we have a moment which is probably going to be spoken about for as long as we watch the game, and that was David Raya's save. I'll come to you, Melvyn. How were you? I'll ask you again. I keep saying it's going to be a common theme. How were you feeling? How were you feeling when that happened? When you saw Fernandes go through? And
luckily, I was very lucky. I missed it. I went to the toilet. I was so aggravated during the game. I thought, I'll go to the toilet now. Nothing's happening. I went to the toilet, came back, and about 5 minutes later, what a great save. And what are they talking about? What save? I didn't know what goalkeeper they were talking about even. Then I saw him go. I knew it wasn't a goal, so I wasn't anxious. I could at least read it's 0-0, so I knew it wasn't a goal. So I'm thinking, Mate. And then when I saw it, I went, oh my God, that is. If we win the league, that's the thing that's, a couple of times he's made a couple of saves that has won us the league, goalkeeper. That was outstanding. The guy could have done better, don't get me wrong, but it was still a great save.
Yeah, it was unbelievable save. James, a lot of talk about, at the top, we were talking about David Raya being up there for Player of the Year, possibly, the amount of clean sheets he's got, the first golden glove 3 times in a row. But what was your thoughts on that moment?
Oh, massive. I mean, this is the one that's going to be spoken about. But he's saving the first half from the diving header was up there as well. It's just this season. This guy's got a whole compilation. You know how beforehand you'd get them videos maybe you're stocking for Christmas and it's like, the 50 best Arsenal goals edition number 200 and something or other, because we scored some good ones throughout our history, as you both know. Yeah. I think this season you could do a 50 great David Raya VHS, and people would still buy it even if it is a VHS, even though that's out of even though they're out of circulation now. People go, oh no, I'll drag my video player out just to watch this. Yeah, just unbelievable. Really incredible performance from him. And he's massive. This team know they're massive. I mean, if you are lucky enough to get through that wall of 4, you've got to get past him as well. And he's just as formidable as that back 4 is. So yeah, massive player for us. And defo in a shout for me for player of the season. I think there's 3 outstanding people for me, and he is definitely in that 3. And for me, that's alongside Declan Rice and Hincapié. And Hincapié is just purely there on consistency for me. I look at him and I think, where do you like I used to say about Monreal when we did pods years ago, I'm like, well, he's a 7 out of 10 before he walks on, because he's just consistent. Where I don't have to talk about him. That's how good he is.
With Hincapié, he gets it, doesn't he? From day one, he got it. He understood what it all meant, and he just slotted in. I love his aggression. He don't like getting beat. He doesn't like getting beaten on a 1-to-1 basis. He's just goes for it, and though he's aggressive, he's not filthy. Like, he's quite clever. He's good enough not to be filthy. That's what I mean. Yeah,
he's it's funny on that. I don't know. I don't know if you guys watch Game of Thrones. It's like fire and ice, right? So you on our left hand side, you've got the fire. On the right hand side, you've got the ice. You've got Hincapié and Gabriel on the left, and you've got Saliba. And when he decides to come back, Timber, they're so cool and calm and collected. Whereas you've got the other 2 who are really on the front foot, and it's such an amazing mix of that and the worry with going back to the Ben White injury. The worry now, obviously, is how bad is it, and we know we've got a massive one coming up in a couple of weeks. We need to get that sorted out. We need to kind of get Timber back. If we've got to dose him up, we've got to get him some of the pep juice or whatever that he puts in these City players. We need some of that just to get him through that game, because kind of worried what you're
telling me. Is he asthmatic, Michael? If not, can we make him asthmatic?
Possibly.
That's worked for teams in the past, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. I wonder if Jurgen can drop a shipment off maybe, but we'll see. But yeah, another guy who dropped in a 7 or 8 out of 10 performance was our captain, who finally turned up and showed us what he was all about. I mean, he was absolutely outstanding. What did you think of his performance? And are you kind of frustrated, Mel, that 1, his kind of lack of availability, and 2, that he's got that in him and he's just not been on that front foot, because literally when he came on, he was screaming for the ball all the time, and everything was quick and stuff. And what we've seen of him so far this season, it's been the complete opposite. But what were your thoughts on his performance when he came on?
You know what he played like, don't you? He played like a captain in a big game, which we haven't got out of him all season. So I know he's been injured for a part of the season, but he seems to have done his best work in our own half, going across the pitch rather than going forward. And his last ball has been poor. That last ball yesterday, it's an easy ball, one might say, but it had to be 100%, and it was just right. And for once, he did something in the box, which he hasn't done for ages. And he, as you say, he came on. He was chasing the back 4 when they had the ball. He was everywhere. Like, he was buzzing like a bee, like he's done, like he did the season before. And we haven't seen it at all this year. So no, it's lovely. I mean, let him peak for another 2 games now, 2 or 3 games. Let him come back to that type of form. The same as I thought Saka was doing, but he had a poor game, Saka. And you're telling me there was a bit of a bug going around. That might be the reason, because he didn't even look interested to me, Saka. Sorry. And those shots of his outside the box in the first half, was it? They were way off. Yeah. He doesn't do that normally. You don't normally get 10 feet above the bar when there's when he's got a chance to shoot. There's no one right on him. He's had the chance to think about it for a split second, and twice he had this decent chances like that, and he went nowhere near the goal. But no, it's great to see him back, Odegaard, and he is different. He can see the final ball, but he hasn't been seeing it recently. Yeah,
it's kind of you think now there's a worry for Eze, because I thought Eze was off as well yesterday, James, and I thought he was a bit quiet against Atleti as well. So with Odegaard's performance, obviously, if he continues like that, you kind of it could be interesting to see what happens against Paris. But what were your thoughts on Odegaard's performance as well? I just thought, as Melvyn said, exactly what you wanted. He's just kind of thinking, where has it been all season? But what's your thoughts, mate?
Yeah, I totally agree with you two, as I have throughout most of the show. I like you said there, that was a performance of a captain in a big game, and you're thinking, where has that been all year? I mean, what a time to unlock it! But it wasn't just his footballing yesterday. I actually thought, and we're used to a generation of Arsenal captains that were vocal, that did take games by the scruff of the neck and drag them over the line, and even so maybe dragged players by the scruff of the neck to get games over the line. And that's not him. That isn't he. There's clearly leadership in there, but he's more calmed and he's more pronounced. Maybe he's not a vocal, he's not a big screamer or a shouter. But when the incident did kick off yesterday, and if I'm jumping, Mike, then rein me back in. But the way he was going to the rest of them, go away, I talk to the rep. It was like, I'm speaking, move. But I thought he handled all of that exemplary. I thought it was the whole way through, and even other incidents where things were, it got a bit feisty and there was a lot of pushing it. He's like, go over there, stay over there. He's like, you're going to get booked again. Chill out. I thought he handled all of them perfectly when he come on. And when that game ended and he did fall to his knees and he was giving it some of that, I was just like, you deserve that. I'm like, you earned that today. And I don't know if you've seen it, but I love the video that's filmed from the West Ham end. And you could just hear the guy when Odegaard's get it. And the angle that he shot it from is so much better than what we got, obviously, on the TV. But he's going, well, this ain't going nowhere. This ain't going nowhere. And then when he passes it to Trossard and he scores, he yells every expletive under that. I won't do it on your show. But it's so worth watching because it's like, oh, it's so, like it's only Ray Parler. He's just going, oh, it's Odegaard. It's going nowhere. It's going nowhere. Nothing to worry about. Nothing. And then he just goes, and then he just explodes into this foul. I'll send you it. But it's so funny to watch because he just going, oh, it's only Odegaard. It's only Odegaard.
Only Ray Parler.
Yeah, exactly. It's and I mean, he still made a backwards pass and got an assist. So, shows he can do it. Shows he can do it. But no, he was incredible. He was incredible. But Stephen's saying, I said it to you. It's hilarious. It's so funny.
It was an outstanding cameo. And it kind of bodes well for the remaining couple of games of what we need to do. And it obviously led to this special moment. I think it was scored in the 83rd minute. And it seemed like we were playing for another 83 minutes before it was full time. That's how long it felt from when that goal went in. I was thinking, oh, my God. But there's definitely a sliding doors moment with Trossard, isn't there, Melv, when we think of who we could have got. Was it Mikhail Mudryk, who we could have got that and look what's happened to him. And we ended up getting Trossard, and he's delivered big goals for us over the course of his time at Arsenal. And that's his first goal in 2000 this year. Sorry, it's his first goal this year.
Wow.
And obviously it was kind of rumored, floating around that he was having issues at home, and obviously, as we mentioned earlier, scumbag media, print media, whatever, did that story on him. We talked about his divorce and everything on the day of a big game. Guy's a Spurs fan as well, I think, as well, so it kind of sums him up. But it's kind of good that we're kind of maybe the attacking sort of unit are starting to kind of come into form a little bit over these last couple of games. Melv, what's your thoughts on Trossard, and how were you feeling when that went in? Did you carry on watching after that? Because I kind of spent...
Well, the world slowed down after that. Time slowed down. It was like, I was talking strange. My brain was like, no. And again, it's the hope that kills you. We want to score the goal. We want to win the game. You're thinking, yes, we've scored. And you think, but what happens if we don't win now? How's all this emotion I've given the last few minutes will mean nothing. You know, you're frightened to do anything. I'm not normally a superstitious person, but when it comes to football, I am. I go, right, I'll sit over here. I'm not moving from that spot because if I sit over there, we may not score or we might let a goal in. It's stupid. It doesn't make... What I do has got nothing at all to do with the Arsenal, but I think it has. I think I can make goals go in or just go over the bar. And yet I do this stupid thing. And then I'm looking at the clock and I'm thinking, no, don't look at it anymore. No, I'll look at it again, only for a couple of minutes, and I promise myself I won't look at it again. And then you do. And it's like, when he put that in, I thought, yes. But the only problem is, this season, we've been there too many times before. Brentford, right? Mm-hmm. We scored the goal. It was a tough game. It was a grind, the Brentford game. We won like that, and I thought, here we go. This could be 2 or 3 because they looked like they weren't expecting that Brentford. And I think we had a little chance straight after Madueke scored. Yeah. And all of a sudden, we sat back, gave away a lot of stupid throw-ons right by the corner flag and corners. And we knew it was going to happen, and it happened. So I just didn't want that to obviously happen again or give something. And then we talk about the last extra time. Okay? That will go down in folklore, won't it, that one?
Still recovering from that. And James, Trossard coming in clutch, but obviously we'll go on to the big moment, the moment that is absolutely rocked the haters, and I haven't seen headloss like this, across the country, across the world. Really, it's almost like another pandemic, and it is Arsenal derangement syndrome or whatever you want to call it. You've got people properly, tweeting. I think there's a Man United account, and I think in the last 24 hours he's tweeted like 136 times I saw about Arsenal and about the situation since that happened. Like, he's not tweeting about his own club. He's tweeting about he's putting messages about Arsenal, and obviously you guys would have probably heard and seen it. Where we cheated, what have you. The game's gone. You might as well pack the game up and everything and stuff like that. And it all obviously boils down to, we're not insulting anyone's intelligence. I'm not even going to ask you guys, do you think it was a foul? It was a foul. Of course it was a foul. It was 2 or 3 fouls. The fact that Kai Havertz was fouled first by Selchuk, he's totally been airbrushed out of anyone's thinking. It's like they're invisible. That's the first foul, and obviously the main foul is the one on David Raya. And we've seen a lot of people look really stupid. This was Darren Can on Match of the Day, sitting next to Shay Given, who has got it in the neck for us because obviously we dealt with him when he was in goal for Newcastle in 1998 when we did the double, and obviously we scored 4 goals past Aston Villa when we beat them in the cup final, and he was in goal that day as well. And that's probably the reason why Gabby Abonglahor so bent up about us, because I think he only come on for like 5 or 10 minutes that game when he was running around and he was trying to win a penalty or something like that. It actually was a penalty, which was even more funny. It was a nailed on penalty. He didn't get it, and he was going mental. So the less said about that Muppet, the better. But it was a foul, and you have people going, what aboutery? But what about the Arsenal corners that they've had all season long and the amount of times they've done this and that? No one can kind of show anything to say that we've done anything like this.
I want to see the evidence. Yeah.
Well, that's another thing.
Melvyn, all the evidence they're bringing up, all them goals are from 2 seasons ago or the season before. And I'm like, that's not this season. And they're like, yeah, but look, I went, that's not this season. I said, IFAB, who do all the rules of the game and what have you, sit the managers down and the players down before the start of each season. And they do. I've been told by people that play, it's the most boring thing, but we have to do it every year. And they all know, they're like, these will be the rules for 3 weeks, then they'll give up and they'll change them. But the only thing that's been consistent this year is you cannot touch the goalkeeper. And there is no video of Arsenal this season where we have touched a goalkeeper. We haven't moved a goalkeeper's arm so that it's, and people go, oh yeah, but Raya still got there and it slipped through his hands. I'm like, well, yeah, but if he hadn't had his arm pulled up and down like that, he may well have just caught it.
Yes.
I'm like, regardless, I'm like, how? Well, I'm like, you can't be that dumb to not see he's grabbing his arm. All of us here can see he's got. Stevie Wonder can see he's grabbing his arm there. So I don't understand where all these people are coming from. And old Brent de Caesar's changed his tune after he was very pro Arsenal. All of a sudden, Gary Neville owns him, and he's turned into another Italian I used to know called Fredo Corleone. Since the paymaster Don said that can't trust him, he's it's unbelievable. He's gone right into Fredo all of a sudden. Bless him. But yeah, I can't understand all these Man United fans and these big Man United fans that all of a sudden want City to win the title.
Didn't Shea give them one to City as well?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, Joe Hart was the funniest. He's completely, his head and shoulders contract's going to be called head, loss and shoulders, mate, because he's completely gone.
Do you remember what he said, Joe Hart, when we played Newcastle away? It was never a penalty.
Yeah.
Correct. He said because the goalkeeper's foot was planted. What are you talking about? It's still a foul. If you stick your foot and keep it there and the geezer runs over you, it's a penalty still. It's a foul. He was so...
Melvyn, there's so many Man United fans especially that are saying, oh, look at you, first game of the season with Saliba on our goalkeeper. People have got all their tweets from that game where they're going, oh, that Bayern D is so rubbish. You've got to be stronger there. You did. So I'm like, well, hang on a sec. You were calling him a wimp. But now you're going, nah, Saliba. When the game was on, you never said Saliba fouled him. You were talking about how rubbish your goalkeeper is. Yeah. So I'm like, what one is it? I'm like, what's changed? I'm like, oh, it's the fact that Arsenal might win the league in 2 games. Oh, right. Okay.
But yeah, it must be very hard being a goalkeeper. It's very dangerous because you can get knocked to the head so easily. And Shea Given must have taken a few in his time. Let's face it, because the things he's out with. He said that we did what West Ham did to our keeper yesterday was the same as the Man United our first goal of the season. It's chalk and cheese. Yeah. It's obviously it's people will see what they want to see. But it's madness. It's madness. Anyway, the good thing is they're hurting now. The people that are having a go at us are really hurting because they thought we were going to not win it yesterday. For 2.5 minutes, they thought, that's it, all over. Man City have won it, and it was taken away from them for the time being.
Yeah, 100%. And I think what it all boils down to, the only reason people are really, as you said, is really upset is because we've benefited from that decision. That's the reason why people have actually lost their heads, because we've benefited from it. If it was any other club, you would have had maybe a moan, but it's the fact that we've benefited from it, and people are, again, it's the United fans and what have you. They will, as you said, James, if we win the league, you said in the chat, there will be the longest without a title of the big 6, obviously big 5, let's say. And that will hurt them. And the thing is, I can't understand is when people say it wasn't clear and obvious. Well, doesn't the referee need to see it before he can decide if it's clear and obvious? He obviously wasn't privy to what was happening on the other side because where he was standing. So I don't. It's not like he saw the whole thing and then he realised that then I'm going to give the goal. He obviously didn't see what happened because he saw it and he decided obviously it wasn't a goal because there was a foul there. And I've heard it all day on the radio and on TV saying, "Oh, clear and obvious." Yeah, but the referee has to see it. Has to see the whole picture. It's not just because VAR's seen it and the referee hasn't. That's not how it's officiated. It has to be shown if the VAR has seen something. So that's basically how it works. And a lot of people are saying no, no, it's not right. It's just because it's us. It's just because it's Arsenal. But Melv, you said you wanted evidence. I actually have evidence for you, and I'll just going to show it to you. And it's that was from Saturday. Man City when they got away with one there. Also got a bit more evidence just coming in. Just bear with me. We got that one from a couple of years ago. Where they decided not to draw any lines.
Well, they forgot. You always forget to draw lines with offside. Okay.
Yeah. And there's some more evidence there. They saw that and decided, that was fine. That wasn't handball. Bringing the ball down and controlling it. And there's more evidence. We had an actual player actually laughing at the fact that he got away with a blatant handball against us. So obviously, with his Eddie Guerrero stuff, the wrestling fans will know. Me and James will know that. And everybody laughed that off. No one had a problem with it because it happened to Arsenal. Imagine if it was the other shoe was on the other foot. Imagine if, let's say, for example, Ben White had done something like that. We'd still be, talking about it now. Oh, we've got this one as well. More evidence of VAR, not coming in and
the referee should have done it. The referee was the VAR's got nothing to do with it because the referee decided.
Oh, there's another one. Look, there's another bit of evidence there.
Oh, look at that one.
Seems to be a common denominator of teams being, getting the bit of the fortunate calls.
Why are you showing everything in light blue all of a sudden?
Yeah.
Is there a reason?
Oh, look, there's another one.
Oh,
it's team in blue again.
Why do you keep this?
Look, there's another one. This happened at the weekend. Another situation. So there's your evidence, and it just does my head in, and people want to cry about it. It is hilarious. It really.
I mean, Mike, the big one that everyone's doing the rounds about the most is obviously the Peter Schmeichel thing, and he's going on about 5 to 6 minutes means it's not clear and obvious. No, like we've all had our say about VAR in the whole years that it's been. We've all had to say about the refs in all the years that it's been, and the thing about football is it's either your turn or it's not your turn. Yeah. But yesterday. And I don't want to, give them over too much credit because there's still 2 games left where they could go and screw you again. That decision that had to be made there was like, this could stop a team winning a title, and this could also relegate a team. So the brass to actually take those 5 and 6 minutes and actually meticulously go through it, and that. Neville, to his credit, was saying, because they get the audio feed in their commentary as well. They're the only ones that can really hear the audio feed before they all, release it. West Ham fans are screaming more about the audio for this than people did for the Epstein files, mate. It's unbelievable the way that they're moaning about wanting to hear the audio for this. But yeah, I'm like, it was the hugest decision that had to be made, and it was the right one because again, you cannot touch the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
That's the most obvious thing. I'm like, if their goalkeeper gets touched there, you get your goal given, or you're at least getting a penalty.
Yeah.
But you touch the goalie. Two of your players touch the goalie.
Yeah.
End of discussion.
It was more than a touch, though, James, wasn't it? It was more than.
Yeah, actually, the fact that
someone's pulling him from the back, and they're grabbing his arm.
Yeah, arm across his neck. Then his arm, he's got the other hand holding his arm as well, and then you put in the shirt. So it's like 3 fouls. It's like
all he wasn't doing is pulling his shorts down.
No, and that's what people don't understand because they're going on about everything else that's in the box, and they're like, yes, but it becomes what's the worst offence, and the worst, and people go, oh, what? So a goalkeeper's is a protected position just because he can use his hands? Yes, because guess what? Yeah. That has been since the dawn of time. You fool.
Yeah, exactly.
It's always been the most protected position. Whether we like it or not, the goalkeeper's always been the most protected position. I mean, look at our game against Brighton away. David Raya was hitting the deck, and the old Ursula was boiling, wasn't he? He had steam coming out. And I'm like, yeah, because Raya knows if I go, I can eat those 3 minutes because I'm a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's how it goes.
Oh dear, let's jump in the chat. Thanks everyone dropping something in. Odegaard was on it yesterday. Been a bad year for him with injuries, but there's a player in there still. I do wonder if he stays. So yeah, it's to be interesting to see what happens in the summer. Steve says the Trossard finish sums him up. That's typical goalie score. He was on it yesterday. The print media is more and more relevant. Yeah, absolutely. Brian says Trossard reminds me of Will Tor. The longer it comes up with those goals when we need it the most. Yeah, spot on. I think it's important to remember that these players dip in form sometimes during the season. Yes. Matt, how you doing? Bottom line, people have been moaning all day about us getting the rub of the green. They've forgotten that we are not the referees officiating the game. You have a problem, speak to Pogba. Yeah, that's another thing as well. They're kind of saying that we've made that decision. It's not. we haven't done it. The head loss from some former players and pundits as well. As rival fans, is a joke. We've got receipts. Not touching the goalkeeper has always been there. Yep, as you've been saying, James, it's not even a new thing. Yeah, you're going to have a word with someone. Have a word with the West Ham players. You don't make it so flipping blatant. That you're doing all that stuff, and you've got VAR looking at it. What's wrong with you? The problem with these people they are non so blind that they refuse to, what they say. Yeah, absolutely. What's that, James? Is something happened? Oh, is it 1-1?
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Calvert Lewin penalty.
Oh, Spurs were winning. I didn't know they were winning.
Yeah, they were 1-0. Apparently, Tell scored a screamer. Apparently, I need to see the Tell goal because it's unbelievable. But
oh wow, okay.
Yeah, 1-0.
Okay, all right, good stuff. Steve saying we've been told about it. The law when decisions don't go our way, now they ignore it. Yeah, absolutely. For me, it's not hard. Don't touch the goalkeeper. Yeah, all these people are crying saying it was a foul on the referee. It's Arsenal, so let's have a pop. It's pathetic, embarrassing. Christ. Yes, spot on.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. And Steve saying, James, watch the clip again of the United keeper incident. It's not even close to us. No, because people are saying that we've done that. We've not done anything like that. Like how the keeper pulled his shirt or not anything like that. Not at all. It's just been blocking players. It's just that, if anything, that's what.
Like I said, it's the comps from seasons ago. I'm like, but that's 2 years, and I'm like, and you changed that rule because of what we were doing.
Yeah,
like yes, Ben White was pinching Vicario. Do you remember that game?
Yeah.
So I'm like, that was 2 seasons ago, and it got changed because they were like, because of Arsenal, we're changing it. And I'm like, well, even though you've still changed it, we're still better than all of you anyway. Just you don't like the fact that it's pointing out the failures of your own team that we're doing this.
That decision yesterday wasn't subjective. If it's a foul, like someone tackles someone, you think it's a bit harsh, a bit soft, bit of a soft sending off, bit of a this, that, and the other. There's nothing. It's not. This is in yes or no. Did he hold him? Did he put his arm across him? Yes. It's not what it looks like. No, he did. It's not subjective at all. It's in real time. You can see it with your own eyes, unless you don't want to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. Steve's saying David Luiz, against Wolves. Yeah.
My God, that one. Martinelli against Wolves.
Yeah. Max saying it's almost fashionable now to hate Arsenal. Yeah, I think a lot of people now just do it. I've had a conversation with Steve about this, and I just think they're Arsenal grifters. They're just basically jumping on the Arsenal. Oh, look at the traction and the engagement I get. When if I mention Arsenal, look at how I can, and it goes both ways. I think a lot of people do it to trigger and rage bait, but there are a lot of people that also do it the other way. Where if I praise Arsenal a lot, and if I give them their flowers, then all of a sudden people are going to listen to me and whatever, and they do it both ways. And even someone like Wayne Rooney, Rooney's been one of the few ex-United players that have actually come out and said some complimentary things to us. But even he came out and said about when we got through against Atletico, saying, "Oh, you're over celebrating." So even the guard drops. Even though he comes out 9 times out of 10, he does come out with shows his true colours. And I think there are 1 or 2 people who are being a bit clever, that they know what they're doing, they're rage baiting. But there's also some others that, well, if I go against them and start actually talking sense about Arsenal, even though it makes sense, I'll get this. I'll get this more bit of exposure, and that's the game now. That's the game now. Unfortunately, that's how it works.
I think Rooney's had a bit of coaching, seriously, because he couldn't put 2 words together a few years ago. I genuinely think, and he's improved. And I think, as you say, his guard went down when he said that about over. I mean, when I see other teams celebrating, I'm thinking, why? No one's having a go at them. Why is it only us? And it is only us. I've never heard any other team over celebrating. And you can see other teams getting into Europe and going like the madness, going, yeah, we've done this. Listen, let them hate us, because if we win the league this year, that will make me so happy. I will bottle up their tears. It'd be fantastic.
Is that what you're drinking now?
No, a bit salty, actually. It could be, I don't know. You know what? Just talk about this season. I'll tell you something. I want us to win the league, right?
Yeah.
But it's not it's not as easy as that for me. I want to win the league because I don't want us to foul. Because if we foul, this could be a big turning point for us. We've gone like that, and it could just go the other way. I really mean that. It's so important we win the league, and obviously I win this in front of the Champions League. I'd love to see us win the Champions League, but I don't care if I don't see us win it if it means us winning the league this time, because this is a. Did you use sliding doors before, Michael, when you said something?
Yeah.
This is the sliding doors for us. I'm telling you, it's the sliding doors 2 games. Yeah. Because if we don't get over the line now, we've been offered the championship 4 times this season. Yeah. We've been in a position, just win this game, and you'll be so far ahead of City that they'll probably give up anyway. And every time we've failed, and we've got another opportunity to say, well, look, I know you've turned it down 4 times, but look, are you sure you don't want it? We've got to take it, because if we don't take it, it will be like night and day to us. So that's why I'm just going to get. You go Monday night, by the way, James.
Unless someone does a madness, no, I am not.
Oh right.
Yeah.
So
that's going to be crazy.
Monday night is people are like putting in the back of their mind. Monday, let's worry about Palace. Will be easy, but worry about the Palace. No, you've got to worry about Burnley. It sounds stupid, but we've got. If we go into a mindset that we just, as we're playing Burnley, we're thinking about, we've got Palace next week. We're finished. We've got to just think about that. We've got to think of Burnley being our last game, not the game at the present game and last game. Just do that, and then get back in the dressing room and think, we've got one more now. Yeah. We may need the win. We may need a draw. I don't know how it works out with what City do. But
City
about Burnley. Please don't take it too lightly.
Yeah, because City play the day up. The City play on Wednesday, and then obviously we've got Burnley. They've got the cup final. Then we play. So then we've got Burnley on the Monday. And then City play Bournemouth on the Tuesday, I think. And obviously, I think Chelsea got Tottenham that same night as well. So depending on what happens, obviously, if they draw, I think if they draw or lose, then I think that's it. I think, because I think it will be 4 points, and they won't be able to catch us, obviously, with the 1 game to play. So
you don't know. They're allowed 115 charges without them. They might get 5 points for the last game. You don't know. Special rules for special clubs. You never thought of that, have you?
No, true. True, but a couple of bits of context. I'm just going to the chat before, so that Klopp ran on the pitch, didn't he, and did all madness in the Merseyside derby once, didn't he? We normally finish well at home when it's our last game of the season, and let's hope we continue that. And context is the 2 games we've got left. Burnley at home and Palace away. Even Spurs beat those 2 teams this season. They've beaten them in those fixtures. So if you're given the team that's 19th and the team that's 14th to close out a season, then what more do you want? Do you want those fixtures, or do you want City's fixtures in the running league? That's how you got to look at it. And I think you're absolutely right, Melv. We've got rest now. That's one of the key things as well. That's definitely gone in our favour. We've got the rest, and I just think we should be able to go out there and put on a performance, put a few goals on them as well. I don't see why they would want to come and park the bus. I think they probably might do for the first 20 minutes to try and make it a little bit, just for the sake of it. And then we just need to make sure we get one in, and then obviously we can go from there. Brian saying last game home in the lights, you expect a Champions League atmosphere and 5-star performance. Yeah, because depending on what happens midweek, that could be the game that we could clinch it if they drop points, don't they? Do they have to lose for that to happen, James? Just trying to work out the numbers, or would a draw be enough? The draw would be enough, wouldn't it? If they drew against Palace and we beat Burnley in the league.
With 5, yeah. So we're 5 in head, right, at the moment.
Yeah.
So if they drew, we'd be 4, and then if they play Brentford, depending on that, it would be and then it would go to with one. If we were still 4. Bournemouth, that's it. Yeah, if they don't do something against Bournemouth, then we can clinch it against Burnley because they won't have enough games to make the point difference up. So the thing that upsets me is where that game unfortunately got moved, and you'll know this, Mike, from your line of work and everything.
Yeah.
The no fireworks allowed, no presentation allowed because of how late the game is.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And that lap of honour that they do at the end of the season, that's going to be the quickest one ever because curfew, innit? Louis and
11 o'clock, isn't it?
Yep.
11 o'clock. Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, people are letting off fireworks there anyway.
Oh yeah.
They're not going to. People at the stadium ain't going to do it, but I'm telling you, there'll be someone outside that's going to have some. So don't worry about that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
We might be seeing this man in the top corner here with his flair. You never know.
Yeah, and another thing as well. If I'm saying if because I'm not trying to jinx it, but if we do win the league, this will be the first. This will be the first title race that Guardiola has actually lost since he's been here. Because if you look at the people say, "Oh yeah, Liverpool." When Liverpool won the league, they were. How many points were they ahead before City? I think it wasn't a title race. Basically, it wasn't like it was.
They were 14 clear when lockdown happened. So they'd have won that.
It wasn't a title race. Liverpool. That was a procession for Liverpool because they flew out the traps, and City were absolutely awful for the first part of the season. But if we do get over the line, this will be the first time Guardiola's actually lost a genuine title race of the 6 or whatever he's won. So that's something to, give him a bloody nose if he is going to depart and walk away, and whoever it is, they're going to get him Maresca, whoever it is. So that'll be a nice little, another ribbon to add to the trophy if we get it. But yeah, on that note, we'll leave it there, gents. Thank you so much for your time tonight. I'll definitely get you back on if we do it. I want to get you. It'd be an emergency stream. I know. James, you probably be with Sofa or Hybrid Squad once it's all done and dusted. But I'll try and get you on, mate, as soon as.
Yeah. Well, it'll be on all the channels, mate. I think the invites will just go out, and it will be a case of just click the link, and whoever's on is on.
Yeah.
100%, I think it'll just be everybody will be on everybody's channel that night, mate. So don't worry about it.
Yeah, and yourself, Melvyn, as well. Get you on to when it's all done and dusted as well, man. We want to get as many people on just to raise a toast when it happens. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Burnley on Monday. A few days for everybody to recover. Fans and players after that craziness. And obviously, it gives with all this time, what do you think is going to happen with the media? They're going to be running this story as long as they can. And next thing you probably know, there'll be some rule changes with corners. I reckon that's probably how it's going to go next season.
Mike, I've got a whole essay on how that's going to change. I've just got to find a way to present it and put it into a format that people will enjoy, because a lot of it is data based.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to be the one that sets the trend for that rule changing, but I have got an essay galore there, mate, on it, and they're definitely gonna switch that up ASAP.
Oh, 100%. That they're gonna. I've heard stuff about maybe not letting the opposition in the 6-yard box. When the ball's kicked in and all sorts. So, it'll be interesting to hear all that, mate, when that comes on. Melvyn, thank you so much. Really appreciate your time tonight, man. Really, really appreciate it. Great seeing you again. Love to you and yours, and yourself, James. Love to you and yours. I know it's been a difficult couple of weeks as well.
I appreciate you, mate.
As well.
Thank you.
Even from the comments, so send my best wishes to yourself and your family as well, your brother as well.
Thank you.
Hope he keeps on doing all the great work with the music as well. Thank you for everyone that's been in the chat. Really appreciate it. It's exciting times, man. We're almost there. 2 games to go, or 3 games. Well, 2 games to go. Let's focus on the Premier League first, and then we can all talk about that little matter in Paris. I don't like the fact that both times we've got to Champions League final, Paris is involved somehow. So let's hope that's that's not going to be a little bit of a bad omen. But thank you so much. Yeah, I know. Look, I've done it now, haven't I? I'm sorry.
Just keep playing the Gabriel clip, mate. I know it's in Portuguese, but he makes his point known. So
yeah,
just play the Gabriel clip.
Yeah,
that's what I say every time. They're like, "Well, what one would you rather win?" I'm like, "No, we're going to win both." So.
Raya said that last season. I think was it last season when Henri asked him, when it goes, "What do you want? Do you want the Premier League or the Champions League?" And he just waited for about a second and said both. And that was it. Bang. Mic drop.
It's a smart answer. It is.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Summit's brewing, so let's go. Let's have it.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your week. Come on, you Gunners.